here!
Minions of the Zoo is a lovable ragtag group of misfits that sprang up initially as a fan group to Ranting Monkey, Scribelite, Some Dumb American, and their joint Lords of the Night livestream show. Late night discussions in Discord quickly evolved into streams of their own, with each member bringing something new and different to the table for discussion. Led by the incomparable Reject PPC and the One-Ton Hammer, the group rotates hosts known as Zookeepers.
Hello everybody and welcome to Minions of the Zoo. I am your host for this evening, One-Ton Hammer.
I will be your zookeeper tonight, Reject.
Alright, and welcome to the zoo. I am the Lucky Pop-Tart Inquisitor.
Sanguine.
Skep Tock.
I'm Prospero.
Cassie. And I'm Delahazed.
Regular streamers, they're known as minions, and special guests are known as traveling exhibits. They're on a nightly basis, so that each show has something unique and fresh for our audience. Minions of the Zoo currently streams at 10:30 Central Standard, 11:30 Eastern Standard Time.
So, if you're not at work today or you're working from home, you may be wondering, what day is it? Todd has the answer for us.
It's Monday.
Let's be xenophobic. It's really in this year. Let's find a nasty, slimy, ugly alien to fear. There's no more cutesy stories about E.T. phoning home. Let's learn to love our neighbors like the Christians learned in Rome. We know we ought to hate them. They're different, you see. We've seen they're mean and ugly on movies and TV. The folks that ought to know have told us how it's got to be. The gospel truth is found in scenes from Alien and V. Let's wipe out any life form that seems to be a threat. We'll serve them up a genocide they never will forget. 'Cause if we miss a couple, they'll breed a couple more. And soon we'll all be hating twice as many as before. You see, aliens can never be as good as humankind. A more delightful race than us you'll never ever find. So step aside, you star slime, we're ready for your worst. We know you want to beat us, enslave us and defeat us, oppress us and browbeat us unless we get you first.
Or not.
Hello everyone, welcome to the zoo, or not. Welcome to the zoo. I am your Zookeeper for tonight, Inquisitor. I know I was gone last week. Don't expect me to be coming back for regular anytime soon. Welcome to Memorial Day. I had the day off from work, so I was able to actually do Mondays today. Otherwise, my schedule does not line up. Until it does, you won't see me on Mondays very often. But joining me are Mr. Adam.
Hello.
Eeyore.
Evening.
And Hate Camel. And how are you all, gentlemen, this evening?
Worried about the stuff we talked about before our stream.
Well, and Camel was talking about there's apparently a new Colin Kaepernick wannabe.
Gabe Kapler, the manager of the San Francisco Giants. He started a protest on Friday of not going to stay in for the, he's going to stay in the locker room for the national anthem. And he decided to break that protest today for Memorial Day. And I like how in the Post article it says that he doesn't know if he's going to continue, if he's going to start the protest back up for tomorrow's game or not.
That's a really dumb way of going about it. I mean, it shows that you lack conviction, right?
Well, what gets me is with Colin Kaepernick, he had been a starter. He had been to the Super Bowl. He had some name recognition, even if you weren't a big football follower.
Which I am not.
He had some. I'm not a big baseball fan. I don't, follow any teams. Don't really follow the league. I kind of pay attention to the playoffs and the World Series occasionally from time to time, but I've never heard of Gabe Kapler until Friday, and I don't really care what his politics are. I don't care what
What is he even protesting?
The direction of the country. The lack of delivery of the promise of what our national anthem represents.
In other words, he has no real answer and can't articulate it.
Nope.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't mind hearing him talk about his politics and whatnot, just not at work. Most people aren't supposed to be talking about politics or other sensitive subjects when they're on the clock, at their job.
Yeah.
And I don't see why athletes should be treated any different in that regard.
They shouldn't.
Like, if you want to have a podcast, if you want to start a YouTube channel, if you want to, do whatever you want with your money, what have you, outside of the arena.
That's the same with
NBA or NFL.
Celebrities, actors
Yeah.
and fucking musicians. Why the fuck does anyone give a shit what these, millionaires are, think of the state of the country? It's not like it affects them. They've got enough, they've got fuck off money that they can sit there and say, well, literally none of the stuff that's coming down is affecting me. And if it does, they can leave the country. Go to fucking Toronto where everything's filmed anyway.
We don't need more celebrities up here.
I'm just saying.
Are you sure? Because, a lot of them swore they were going to move to Canada for one election or another. And they have, how did Gabe put it? The lack of delivery on the promise that those celebrities have made.
Hey, just put them all in the Quebekistan. So.
In Quebec?
Yeah, make them all learn French.
Yeah. Nice language.
But French is an oppressive language, not an oppressed language.
Whoa.
Despite the fact that by slave numbers, Spanish speakers held twice as many as French at their peaks.
Just say it so droning. You gotta say it uplifting, You gotta crop.
With this type of people, never.
Oh, okay.
Speaking of uplifting, did you guys hear that Winnie the Pooh is currently in the public domain? And therefore there is a horror movie called Blood and Honey being made about Winnie the Pooh?
Who had several $100 million to get that from the House of Mouse?
No, it went into the public domain.
No,
They could not. The House of Mouse.
You are aware that public domain 100 years ago, before Disney started its bullshit, was just 20 years. It's now moved to lifetime of the original creator plus about a century.
Well, I'm just saying, it went into the public domain. That's how this is happening.
Yeah. Yeah, and I saw the.
I think I heard about that just earlier today. Actually, I think it was a AAA meeting was talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not going to be like an actual, bear. Not going to be a cartoon or something. It's supposed to be like live action with a guy wearing a mask.
Yeah, I think that's.
Yeah, it looked like they were going the fucking Five Nights at Freddy's type of thing. And
I'm not sure if it's animatronic, but it's at least a
well,
dude with
no,
a mask.
but yeah. The old cartoon characters are or horror characters. I think they did it with Banana Splits.
Yeah, they did.
Like a year or two ago. Or something.
I liked Polly's idea of like just make it like John Wick, but with Winnie the Pooh. Like they stole his honey, and so he's just gonna on a murdering spree.
No, they need to kill Piglet or something, accidentally, and then he goes on a big murder rampage to try and avenge Piglet.
You stole my honey. You killed my friend. Yeah, I'm thinking I'm back.
And then I just imagine he loads the gun. Oh, Balta.
Yeah, but did you see the mask for the honey or the Winnie the Pooh character? Like I said, it looks like they were going with oh yeah, this is Five Nights at Freddy's art house type horror.
Cannibalistic. He's tired of you harvesting his honey. Now he's gonna harvest your organs.
Yeah.
Now it's payback time.
This Halloween. He is Winnie the Pooh in Blood and Honey.
Yeah,
That's my best. That's my best impression of like the movie trailer guy.
Yeah, well, welcome to the land of milk and honey, bitch.
Oh, so how's everybody else doing today? I see we got a few folks in chat already. Costin, Assassin of the Gray, of course, Cannibalistic with the nice little tagline for Blood and Honey there. Coco, what's going on? Oh, Pat was here earlier. What's up, Pat?
Yeah, I saw Pat earlier.
Late for you, isn't it?
Was he out on the East Coast now?
No, I thought like with his job, he was like an early to bed, early rise kind of type.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, he's, as far as I know, he's still in Texas. It's Central Time for him too.
Okay.
But I thought he got up like early in the morning, like dark 30. So I figured he'd be, in bed 7, 8 o'clock at night, something like that.
And I say for those wondering what I'm painting right now, I'm painting a blood.
A unicorn.
Knight. Well, it's a blood knight, is what it's called. Which is
That looks like a unicorn to me.
A vampire on skeletal steed.
Hey, did you see
So
that?
it's Dracula on a unicorn. Okay.
Yeah.
Did you see that? Oh shit! I wish I saved the image, but somebody had posted. They had like a super high number army for, I think it was
Chaos. Yeah, that was on the minions in the dungeon chat. Yeah. He has over 133,000. It's mini wargaming Dave. Yeah, his
they
chaos
have all
army is
of those
huge.
figures and painted.
Mhm.
Good God!
And I say that's the bit that impresses me the most is the fact that it's all painted.
And not to what do they say where they just dip it? And who's his goof nut name? Would just dip it for 3 different colors.
Jack.
But, yeah. But no, actually detailed work onto the figures.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no.
And I say he also has a maniple of titans too. He's got a warlord, a warhound, and a reaver. In 40K.
Well, I'm just a goof.
And those are worth a lot of points and a lot of money too. Let's put it this way: with his collection, he could have easily bought a suburban house.
I wouldn't go that far, but really,
Yes.
isn't the housing market gone to shit?
Yeah.
I would have said a mid-grade sports car, like.
Yeah, you can get a sports car bed.
I would say even a house, a suburban house. Yeah. I mean, you're not gonna get a fucking loft in Times Square or anything, but suburban house. Yeah, sure.
Hold on, who's looking
couple
for a
100,000.
loft in Times Square?
I'm just saying, that's gonna be way more expensive than a fucking suburban house.
Why would anyone want to live in a place that smells of sour milk and is filled with people like New Yorkers?
Yeah, I agree.
Oh shit!
What's
oh
up?
shit! What?
I was fighting some Street Fighter 3. I noticed,
Against Coco?
no,
Oh.
Coco does not play Street Fighter. Apparently, it's too much for him. So.
Well, I thought he did. I thought he was playing
Yeah.
Street Fighter against you a couple times.
Yeah, he did, but it didn't last too long. I was looking at the little PlayStation system, and it has Battle Arena Toshinden and what's the other fighting game that it had?
They're making a PlayStation Classic thing, like Nintendo did with the NES and SNES.
No, yeah, they had, it's, I think it's been out for like a couple years now. But I
What those
'cause I
games? Just
went-
get the fucking system and buy the games.
well, no, cause I went to go and I picked out my Wii U because I wanted to download the games before the
Shop closed.
shop closes, right?
Yeah.
But I was like, shit, I need a Wii remote, and you were even saying, so I was like, oh shit, I gotta look to see find some Wii remotes.
Did you find
But-
the one that I think I might have left over at your place?
No, I couldn't
Okay.
find it. So I'm sitting there like, shit. I don't even know. I think I can be able to work the Wii U with the gamepad. I don't think you need a Wii remote, but
Yeah, no, I don't think you do either.
just gotta find that shit. But I was sitting there. I found my little PlayStation Classic, and I was like, oh shit, I should play this. Let me try and hook it up and see if I can get a stream of this
Battle
Play
Arena
some,
Toshinden.
Battle Arena Toshinden or Twisted Metal.
There you go.
You ever play that?
My roommate's brother owns every Twisted Metal.
That's some fun stuff.
I remember I played the first one kind of a lot until I got fairly good at it, but I never owned a PlayStation, so the skills that I learned for just like a weekend, and then now are just completely gone.
Yeah, for me it's like I think it's just battle mode. Or at least like Mario Kart battle mode. I never really played Twisted Metal. Wasn't really into the PlayStation, so
Neither am I, and neither was I. I like I said, I never owned one.
Now, are they actually making a Twisted Metal movie, or was that just a meme going around?
I have
Wait,
no
what?
idea. I've never heard of that.
I
Make a
swear I saw it
movie?
on Twitter like I don't know, a couple weeks ago. Maybe
Well-
it was just a meme. I was trying to figure out like how do you make that into a movie?
It's got a story. It makes sense.
Twisted Metal has a story. I only ever played it like co-op, well not co-op, but like I guess like versus mode with my buddies growing up.
Yeah, it has a story.
I had no idea.
Its story is actually really similar to that old
Death
Sega-
Race.
Well, no, that old Sega game. Eternal Champions. It's got this whole like seeking.
wait, hold on. You're gonna
redemption.
it's like Eternal Champions?
Yeah, so like seeking redemption, getting a second chance at life, sort of thing.
Well, yeah, because okay, so yeah, Eternal Champions was you're a fighter and your soul gets a second chance if you win the tournament.
Yeah,
Twisted Metal had the same type of thing.
if I'm remembering correctly, I thought.
Win the tournament, get one thing, whatever you want from this extremely rich benefactor.
Yeah.
Oh,
And, like,
you know,
each
I'm
one
sorry.
of them had their own like personal like stakes and stories and stuff like that.
I got the ADD brain going. Assassin was talking in chat about it being Memorial Day.
Mhm.
He was remembering 7 of his men that didn't come back home, and my mind jumps around and whatnot, and I just remembered a video that I saw last night on Twitter that Jack Cochran, not myself, but Jack Cochran, posted.
But you guys are one and the same.
Don't do that, Quiz. Terry's not even here.
No.
But it
How
showed.
do you know? He's probably just lurking.
Hey, Addy. It showed. I'm assuming that was a soldier. I couldn't tell, like with the the uniform insignias or anything. It was too far away for me to be able to tell, like Army, Air Force, whatever. They're just in fatigues, and this black soldier lady, she was jawing like crazy, just yelling and screaming and whatnot. Apparently, some situation had occurred before the video started. And like probably like an auditorium or something, and like she's being escorted out of this like gymnasium, it looks like. And the whole time she's getting up in these people's faces, like she's telling them not to touch her, not to do like just. I was like, shit.
So what was the reason for this?
I scrolled down that whole thread trying to find out if anybody knew what precipitated this event. Nobody know. But I was like I would not want to be stuck with that person.
Conduct befitting a soldier.
I was wondering, since Assassin's here, if he had seen that floating around and if he could give any insight. Because like again, never served a day, but like if I got sent to war with that backing me up, I'd shoot her in the foot and just beat tracks back to what happened to so and so. I don't know, man. Enemy must have got her. She didn't make it back to the truck.
Well, wasn't there a video of like some military lady who was causing a ruckus?
I think we're talking about the same video. Yes, Adam.
Yes. And if there was an MP, they probably would have.
At one point, one of the dudes that's trying to herd her out of that room like a cat, he's like, "Go get the security guard." He's telling somebody else off screen, like, "Go call the security guard." Because like she spun around and started jawing at them, I think at least 4 or 5 times, so they're trying to just this way, get the fuck out of here, this way. So I was wondering if Assassin had seen that or not, and if not, I can send it to you in a DM. I'm pretty sure I can scroll back through my timeline here real fast. But yeah, I want like his perspective or cryptics, somebody that's actually been in.
Does that sound like the, like I said before, conduct befitting a soldier?
Oh yeah.
No, not to me either.
To me, the conduct befitting a soldier is what happened to good old YouTube personality Angry Cops, aka well, I'm not gonna say his real name, even though it's out there. He was going around his place in New York. He was from, I believe, Buffalo, and in not dress uniform, but in uniform. And there was a guy, he was just running around being a general nuisance, spitting on people and all sorts of shit like that. And drill sergeant fucking tackles him and just brings him to the ground and tells people to call the police. And sure enough, the police come and arrest the guy, not drill sergeant. But it still didn't stop people coming up and trying to film him, saying like, "Why are you doing that? Why are you oppressing that black guy who's running around spitting on people and being a general in breach of peace?"
Assassin said, "Female or not, I would give her a wall-to-wall counseling, then get her kicked out with burnt chicken dinner. Bad conduct discharge." Yeah. See, I've always heard it called the big chicken dinner. I had not heard the burnt chicken dinner. I heard it called the big chicken. And when I was growing up, it was not called wall-to-wall counseling. It was called a four-wall conference, because my mom would bounce my head off of all four walls if I acted up. Oh, I just got called a bootlicker on Twitter, apparently.
Why are you a bootlicker?
Oh, somebody said something stupid, and apparently my comment did not. I guess I didn't phrase it right or something. There's the NYPD Asian Hate Crimes Task Force has a video, or they really retweeted a video. They are looking for the victim of assault by men. According to this account they retweeted, it says, a group of men attack a man in a New York subway. The victim looks to be Asian. Asking for the public's help in identifying the attackers and having them arrested, one man is holding the defenseless man as others punch him. New York subways are not safe. Video sent by a follower. And yeah, one dude's got this guy's arms, back, behind his back, and another dude just walks up, blasts the shit out of him. And another dude starts just teeing off with lefts and rights. And people in the comments are saying, the Asian guy was about to grape somebody. So somebody responding to this person said, if this story is true, then the answer to your question is yes. Crime by males is out of control. We need more trained, and that's in parentheses, trained, community active civil peers that step in when an assault is happening. So I just said,
you mean police?
I said that's a long way of saying police. So yeah, the person quote tweeted me and said, how are there still people who trust the police? And I just said, who said trust the police? Like, what that person is describing is the definition of police. They trust the police more than I do, because they're the ones advocating for police, just by a different name, by a longer definition.
From my Canadian point of view, there ain't much problem with the police. However, they want to start shit. No, it's lawyer, and I'm recording everything.
I think there are plenty of problems with the police in America. Sure. I'm not putting the blame on individual officers for the most part, but the people who who make the laws and.
Put the blame on entirely.
Oh, there's plenty of officers that need blame put on them, but I'm not putting all of the problems of policing in America on
the officer.
An individual
sure.
officer. Yeah.
Sure. No,
I like how he opened it with from a Canadian standpoint. All right.
Yeah,
but
from
I live
some of those stories that are being put out about some police officers. There's some that absolutely do not deserve all of the shit that they get, and other ones that deserve way worse than what they do get. Like that one, I hate to bring him up yet again, but that one guy who got his AR engraved with "You're fucked" and mad.
Oh, the one that killed Daniel Shavers.
Yep. That cop should be swinging from the goddamn fucking rafters. I don't give a shit. That was straight up murder what he did. Not fucking discharge, not fucking, removal of his pension. He should be fucking swinging.
If I'm not
Short
mistaken,
stop and a
didn't he?
sudden drop, or short drop and a sudden stop. Fuck that faggot.
If I'm not mistaken, didn't that guy like get his job back too?
No, he's acting as a apparently according to Wikipedia, he's acting as a security guard at some other place in fucking New Mexico.
Oh.
New Mexico or Arizona, I don't remember.
No. They tried to get him back, I think, like auxiliary or something like that, so he could get his pension or something like that. They were trying to get him back.
Like I said, he should be fucking swinging. If there's any example that proves that not all police are good, it is that example. Just saying. And in my opinion, if the police want to be trusted again in the United States, then they should be calling that shit out as the downright reprehensible evil that it is.
Oh, so that's to point out, it was a custom morale dust cover on the rifle. It was not an engraving.
Or was it?
Well, I mean, it was engraved on the dust cover, wasn't it?
I could have sworn that it said that it was engraved on the barrel.
No, not the barrel. It was a dust cover. I remember that part.
Okay. Doesn't make it any better.
Yeah, I mean, it's still. And watching that video, man, that was the directions they were giving him was so convoluted. I was having trouble keeping track, and I wasn't drunk.
Yeah.
That dude went from being drunk and horny to having a rifle stuck in his face.
No, he went from
trying to keep his pants from falling off.
Dead.
Well, there was fearful crying in between.
Yes. He was crying, saying, "Please don't shoot me."
All because an exterminator wanted to impress a girl by showing him his pellet guns.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I forget the name of that one guy in Phoenix. He and his girlfriend were playing like Crash Bandicoot or something, like it was kind of late at night in their apartment, making food and stuff, playing video games. Guy calls, and one of their neighbors calls in a noise complaint on him. Nothing happens, or not fast enough to his liking, so he calls back again, and he reports it as a domestic disturbance instead of a noise complaint to get the cops to show up there. And it being like after midnight, people knocking at this dude's door he's not expecting. He answers the door with his pistol, and as soon as he sees it's a cop, when he opens the door, he begins like bending his knees to put his gun down on the ground, like raising his other hand up. There's a cop on either side of the door, so he doesn't see the cop behind him. Just guy behind him just sees the gun, shoots him dead.
Yep.
I've got plenty of reasons to not trust the police, but I guess my biggest reason is I live in a somewhat rural area. If I call the cops, it's going to take them minutes to get here at best. Somebody's trying to break down my front door, I don't have time to wait on the cops. So, I mean, same thing with, like EMS services. It's going to take them a little while to get here. So,
Yeah.
Gotta make sure
Get
you
your
have-
basic first aid training.
Not formally, no, but I know how to stop a bleed and stuff like that. I would agree with that. Assassin that should carry attempted murder charges. If you are swatting people, yeah, you should definitely.
Oh, swatting, absolutely. And for the ones that are successful, actual murder charges.
Like that one in Kansas.
Yeah.
What did they end up giving that guy? I forgot. Like they did charge him. The one that actually called it in.
Wait, did they charge him?
Yeah, he was convicted too, if I'm not mistaken. I just can't remember what the charges were they got him on. Give me a second, I'll try and look it up real fast.
How common is it this is pertinent to what I'm painting here. How common is it for horses to have the same color hair mane as the rest of their body? I'm not sure if
Depends on exact breed, but even in breeds that are a little different, it'll very rarely be a drastic change in color. Like the brown to black, I forget the name of that breed, is about the most drastic you'll see. Except for there is a couple browns to white. I remember that.
I was thinking about it because I wasn't sure if I wanted to paint the actual flesh of the horse. Mind you, it's funny because he has a skull, but yeah, it's the rest of the body is actually fleshy. I wasn't sure if I wanted to paint it a different color or if I wanted to paint it that same brown that I painted the mane and the tail.
So let's see. The 911 hoax caller, he got 20 years in federal prison.
Good. What was the charge?
Well,
misuse of a 911.
Hold on. He was charged in Kansas with involuntary manslaughter when he was extradited from Los Angeles.
Okay.
He was indicted in United States District Court for, let's see, what's the charge relating? Charged with false information and hoaxes, cyber stalking resulting in death, making threats of death or damage to property by fire, interstate threats, conspiracy to make false reports, and wire fraud because he was calling it in, I think, like voice over internet protocol.
You know, that's very interesting to me, considering some other things that have happened in my life. Go see Adonis Paul's video about that.
There was another person involved, not the one that called in, but a different one. He was charged with wire fraud, conspiracy to make false hoax reports, obstruction of justice, and conspiracy to obstruct justice. A third person. See, there were two Call of Duty players and the hoax caller. So this third person was charged with obstruction of justice, wire fraud, and conspiracy to obstruct justice. He was re-indicted on additional charges after it was discovered he goaded the
original caller.
The caller. He goaded him to try again after the fatal shooting. So you guys are familiar with the details surrounding this case, right?
No.
So you got two Call of Duty players, right? They're talking shit to each other, and yeah. Apparently, I guess one of them got pissed and he was gonna to swat the other guy, and the other guy's like, yeah, go ahead, fuck you, So he gets this other dude involved, who apparently went by the name Swatistic on Call of Duty.
By the name what?
Swatistic.
Yeah.
Swatistic. All right. Okay.
So player A pisses off player B. Player B calls in this asshole to actually call in the swatting. And then I guess when player A finds out, that they tried to swat him. I guess they had an old address of his, so he said, yeah, go ahead, call it in, I don't give a fuck. And after he found out that they did call it in on his old address and it got somebody killed, he told us, like, go ahead, try again.
And they did?
I don't think they had a chance to do that before they were found and arrested.
Rightfully so.
Yeah. That part goes without saying, Donkey. Oh,
I don't care. I'm gonna say it.
The potential victim is the one that goaded him.
Yeah. Let's see.
So the potential victim was the one that was.
Well, the person who was being targeted for the swatting didn't care because he knew that the address they were going to call the SWAT was no longer his address. It was an old address. So he showed, I guess that would be depraved indifference to the potential of somebody dying at his old home.
Huh. Well, fuck that guy too.
Yeah.
Your sympathy goes out the window when you start doing shit like that.
So the guy who called it in, he had a criminal record for domestic violence and had served 16 months in LA County Jail for making fake bomb threats against one of the local news stations, the local ABC affiliate, and an elementary school, and a middle school.
Sounds like winners all around, man. There's not a
He
good
was wanted
person
by
in
the-
all of this.
He was wanted by the police in Panama City, Florida, for calling approximately 30 other bomb threats, including one to a high school, and on fraud and mischief charges in Canada for harassing a woman in Calgary.
Oh, shit.
Leave the old ladies in Calgary alone. They have enough trouble with the mayor.
It was over $1.50 wager in an online match of Call of Duty World War II.
That was what all of this was over.
Yeah,
Wait, hold on. When did that game come out?
that's what it started with. Two men, Casey Viner and Shane Gaskill, are the two Call of Duty players. I don't care about their online pseudonyms. Fought over friendly fire in the Call of Duty World War II match, causing them to lose both the match and $1.50 in wagers. The two gamers took to Twitter in an argument about the loss. Viner threatened to swat Gaskill over the loss. Gaskill intentionally gave the other guy the wrong address, a place where he had previously resided with his family, and said he would be waiting. Viner then contacted this guy Tyler Barris, the one known as Swatistic, and provided him with the address address given to SWAT Gaskill. Finch was not a known gamer and had nothing to do with the Call of Duty match. Yeah, so the guy living there, he was just like a 28, 29-year-old father and husband. Yeah, using voice over IP through the free Wi-Fi provided by a South Los Angeles library. Barris called the Wichita Police Department. Because the call was transferred from Wichita City Hall to 911, the dispatcher believed the call was coming from the Wichita area.
Yep.
Barris identified himself as Brian, claimed that he was at the residence, had fatally shot his father, and was holding family members at gunpoint. He asked if police were coming to the house, saying he had already poured gasoline all over the house and was threatening to set it on fire.
Yep.
All of that over a video game match and $1.50. You can't even get a pack of gum for $1.50 anymore.
Yep. No, you can't.
Dude, yeah. The crisp bar is like $2. Willy Wonka wants his money.
At least the one dude in Brazil that killed a guy over World of Warcraft gold did it himself. Yeah, he took a hacksaw to his legs and cut them off at mid-thigh and let him bleed to death in a Brazilian staircase. in an apartment complex, but at least he had the balls to do it himself.
I'm sorry, over
World of
World
Warcraft
of
Gold.
Warcraft?
Yeah.
How much is that in real world money?
Nothing.
Well, this is a bucket of happy story. How's it going, Johnny? See, this is why I only play Crusader Kings and I do it on single player mode. There are a lot of freaks on the internet, and I don't want to piss all of them off.
But that's no way to live. You gotta live dangerously, my man. Otherwise, Adam and I wouldn't hang out. Right?
Wait, what do you mean?
I say Adam and I met on the internet, and then found out we lived close enough together, and now we're good buds, so...
Yeah.
It's no way to live.
It's just that some people are entirely capable of 100% separating their online persona from their real world persona. Only some people can do it. Others can't.
Yeah. Well, again, it's the whole penny arcade total fuckwad theory, right?
I'm not familiar with it by that name, but I'm probably familiar by it in practice.
It's
Wait, Penny Arcade, wasn't that a comic?
Yeah, webcomic. Yeah.
Yeah.
The total fuckwad theory is normal person plus anonymity plus audience equals total fuckwad.
I would use total psychopath, but yes.
Yeah.
Look at Twitter.
Yeah. I believe it was Oni NG, the former Newgrounds animator turned now Let's Player on YouTube, and he is making a game called Bulbo. Everyone check it out. I think he's a pretty funny dude. Just mentioned earlier in a Let's Play that all he does on Twitter now is he'll put out a notice or notification that he's done something, and then he gets the fuck off of it. And you know what? Good on you, Oni. It takes even more willpower than me to do that, because I've just completely abandoned Twitter entirely. Fuck that website. And fuck everyone.
Never
that uses
before has a hive of scum and villainy existed.
Yep. And I won't go back. Doesn't matter if fucking Elon Musk bought it or not. It's a garbage website filled with garbage people.
I have a hard time believing that man bought an AR-15.
Who? Elon Musk?
No. Again, AD brain throwing Twitter. Somebody posted this video, says, Jake,
what
a gun
have we
owner.
learned about that in just the last few minutes there? Hey, Camel.
Squirrel?
All right, go off then.
Says Jake, a gun owner. He enjoyed shooting his AR-15 for years. A believer in the Second Amendment. A believer that he nor any other civilian should own an AR-15. As he listens to me read the names of the Uvalde victims on my podcast, destroys his gun as instructed by his local police. I don't think the police told him to take a hammer to it. Because this dude in like bicycle shorts and Jesus sandals, just swinging like a 5-pound, mallet at the different parts of this gun. Oh, even the magazine. Wow.
Let's hope he removed all of the ammunition from it. No, better yet.
I'm
fine if he didn't.
I did not find this on Poe's timeline. This is somebody else. Because I would fully expect that to happen if Poe had shared it. Wait, start at page 1, please. Page 1 of what? I'm lost, Assassin. What's going on here? Yeah, he's got his AirPods in. I guess he's supposed to be listening to this person's podcast. I don't know who it is. Oh, it's a Blue Wave account. They don't even link like their podcast or anything. I'm having a hard time believing any of this. That's a good point, Frosted. I think. I remember when Mia Khalifa had, like, turned in her shotgun to the police in Florida. I think that was after the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas shooting.
I want to know what she was talking about with a rebranding. Does that mean that she's not going to go by Mia Khalifa? Or
no, that just means that she's going to do porn a different way instead of doing it with studios, I guess.
Weird.
Oh, go independent. That's fine. It's not like that's a good way to get STDs or AIDS or anything. Yeah.
Apparently, she's like posting lewds on OnlyFans. Like, sweetheart, we've already seen your asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've seen you, doing everything short of being plugged airtight. Okay.
I'm pretty sure we've seen that too.
Yeah, I don't know.
Is Pat still in the chat? Pat would know better than me.
Well, I'm sure that you can just look it up on Pornhub.
Okay, I've got Twitter open right now. Do you really want me scrolling through Pornhub while we're talking?
Well, it's we just wouldn't hear from you again all night, is what it would be. Just don't pull a Dark Side Phil and wank it while you're on air.
No. Oh, regard, I figured out what you're talking about. Okay. I don't know what I was talking about at this point. What was I talking about, dude? Fill me in.
Remember? Something about Mia Khalifa turning in her gun.
Oh yeah, she got a shotgun or something.
Yeah, she had like a shotgun. She turned into the cops and was like, "Were you planning on shooting up a school? No? Then why do you need to turn in your gun?" It makes no sense.
There's some people that just, they wanna.
They want head pads. Yeah.
The attention.
And yeah, she's trying to rebrand herself. It's like, I don't care. She tried to rebrand herself before, going from porn to she was trying to do like sports talk.
I thought she was doing some like wine. Like,
I don't know, dude. She pops up on the timeline every now and then, because she says or does something that, people talk about her for a while. The virtue signaler destroying his murder, assault, child killer 15 because he's mentally unstable. Yeah. That was what I was talking about. I always like to bring back the story from a neighborhood I grew up in for my childhood, up in Broken Arrow. There was a guy a few years back, and I said on Twitter 4 yesterday. There was 4 people involved total, but only 3 of them tried to break into his house while he was asleep. And he had an AR-15, and he killed all 3 of them. The 4th person was a getaway driver who is now facing 3 counts of capital murder. Or was facing 3 counts. I don't know if they pled out or anything. But yeah.
Why the getaway driver getting capital murder?
Because it was her plan to rob this place, and she had knowledge of the intended victim. She was an adult. The 3 she sent in were teenagers. And if somebody dies in the commission of a felony, well, that's capital murder. Because
by the same token, there was that guy in California. I'm not sure what charge. I think he was getting charged. I don't remember for what, though. There were people breaking into his house, and he gets out his revolver and shoots one of the people trying to break in, and then walks right up to her, puts the gun to the back of her head, and
I know the
off.
story you're telling.
Yeah.
See, there was more to it than just that. It was I think it was a brother and sister.
Yeah.
They were breaking into his house. They broke in repeatedly. So not only did he have a gun, he also went like full Kevin McAllister and had set up booby traps in his house.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Now, one of the booby traps killed the brother.
I thought the brother got away.
No. He died. If I'm not mistaken, he died first. And then I think the sister was wounded by a booby trap. And that's when he came up to her and shot her dead.
What was even worse was the fact that it was the back of the head, too. Just straight up execution stuff.
Yeah. And so, like, you're not allowed to have booby traps posted on your property. And you know, if he had just you know, shot the one and wounded him or whatever and called the cops, he'd have been A-okay. But you know, with the booby traps and the just straight up mafia style shooting in the back of the head, like, yeah, that's murder. Sorry, do not pass go.
Yeah.
Do not collect $200.
Of being home invaded and having some stuff stolen, you know, it's unjustified use of force at that point.
Yeah, assassin, that's right. That was the grandfather of one of the boys said that on the news. You know, but it wasn't a fair fight. You know, he didn't have to kill him. It's like they were armed with knives and brass knuckles. How's he supposed to know that they were just there to steal his shit? Yeah. And why do you bring brass knuckles to a theft?
Yeah. Well, again, the major thing is that no one. I don't think anyone would complain about it if it was in the line of being robbed that he shot them. It was.
Oh no, I'm
circumstances
talking
of the slaying.
We're going back to that guy in Broken Arrow with the AR.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's what Assassin was talking about. It wasn't a fair fight. Yeah, one of the boys who broke into this dude's house, one of the three of them, his grandfather got on the local news and straight up said that it wasn't a fair fight. It's like, yeah, you're right. It wasn't a fair fight. It was a fucking robbery, sir. It was 3-on-1 home invasion. It wasn't like a UFC cage match.
Yeah.
There wasn't a fucking referee. This wasn't a fight. You know, your grandson committed a felonious act, fucked around and found out. End of story.
I hate my country.
No? What now?
Yeah, what did they do this time?
Full handgun prohibition.
You know, I'm surprised that they've been, you know, like down here, that they're just, you know, still focused on like the ARs and whatnot. Like most gun crimes handguns. I'm surprised
most gun crime is handguns, but most mass shootings are things like ARs.
Yeah, I get that. And
you know, and one black scumbag killing another black scumbag doesn't work well for CNN.
That's also very true, Assassin. He gave him a chance to just fuck off, and they kept coming. So, you know, again, they fucked around and they found out. You know, you should have raised your grandson better.
Yeah.
Like not once during my teenage years did I ever want to break into somebody's house or steal their shit or anything like that.
Why?
You know.
At the very worst, I was a voyeur looking in hot women's windows. But that was mainly being a horny teenager.
Nah, I had internet porn by then.
See, man, I grew up at a time where we didn't have internet.
Oh man, I still had magazines before I had internet too. You know,
Nah.
You didn't have a friend like, you know, like a friend who had a friend of a friend or something? Like, we could just, get like secondhand magazines or whatever?
No.
You didn't ever go out to like a camping trip or something and find like penthouse forums, like stuffed in a bush somewhere?
Okay, I'm not rural fucking Oklahoma here, dude. This is suburban Chicago.
Apparently, everywhere that is not an urban environment, people just manage to find porn in the bushes, and you guys are missing out.
I get it. Yeah, we don't have, the best we have are forest preserves, and no one's going out there to have a good fucking jerk session.
I mean, you will if you're desperate enough. It depends. You don't know. Like, what a beautiful day in nature. Oh, look, a Genesis magazine. Cool.
And then I think I might be ready to do a little bit of shading work on this guy. And say, yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't. I'm sorry, I'm still reading chat and everything. Septus Wolf asked, is it bad of me not to care he killed people with his traps on his own property? I mean, honestly, I wouldn't have a problem with it with him having booby traps on his property that killed, thieves.
There's case law in Iowa that makes it illegal for you to trap even your own property.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm fairly certain. Don't quote me on this because I'm not a legal scholar or anything like that, but I'm fairly certain that's probably like around the country by now at this point. Like, you can't be, no claymores at the front door, no shotgun on a fishing line pointed at the back door, nothing like that.
Well,
no.
That's the one specifically that made it illegal. Is that was exactly the case.
Yeah, blame that asshole, Septus Wolf.
Yeah.
If he hadn't executed him, he probably could have skated. Who knows? Oh, see, Cannibalistic, he's missing out on the forest porn, dude. So I didn't really have friends in the camping areas I went to were upstanding places that kept it clean. I don't know what to tell you, man. Hey, Wonder and Lisa, how's it going?
For me, it was Grandpa's hunting shack, 40 years worth.
40 years worth of booby traps or 40 years worth of porn?
Both.
Bored of the hunting shack.
Both.
Okay.
What do you think? What do you think? 40 years of
porn is? What do you think supposed to protect the porn?
It's called a booby trap.
And Eeyore, you know what you were doing.
And as Assassin says, just because something is illegal doesn't mean it is wrong. Fair point.
Sometimes, yes. Something is made illegal because sometimes it is morally wrong. I'm not
I imagine Assassin
every law, but I'll say that by and large, that's the impetus for it being made into a law. At least I would like to think so. In a perfect world, that would be the case.
I just imagine, like, if Assassin's got, if he's booby trapping, like, the area around his house, I have to imagine it's something like Predator or like some old school like Vietnam shit, like the bamboo sticks, in the pit, or just some dude walking over the front door, like the UPS driver's walking to the front door, all of a sudden he's hanging upside down by one ankle. And yes, Cannibalistic, I did see the video of the guy who booby trapped his car with a flashbang. That was hilarious. So, that dude's ears were ringing like fuck all for a while.
In South Africa, it's perfectly legal to booby trap things like your car and stuff like that, and that's what was widely seen as a deterrent for car thefts in South Africa, was booby trapping your car. Even if there were incidents of people forgetting to disarm their booby trap when they get into their car and then get hit with their own booby trap.
See, that's the problem I would have. Like, I would be scared of, like, killing myself with my own booby traps. Come home from work, long day, maybe you're a little frazzled, you forget that, hey, there's something that's gonna just smack me right in the face as soon as I open the front door. Or maybe, get home, dodge the first one, maybe forget to get a backup or a tertiary booby trap, because you got to have some redundancy. You got to have multiple layers of home defense.
That's military thinking there, my friend.
Never served a day. I just don't want to get caught with my pants down.
Redundancies. That's military thought there, right there, my friend.
Well, when it comes to assholes trying to steal my shit, yes, I want redundancy.
Booby trap to maim, not to kill.
I'm just reminded of some of the military redundancies that are put in place that don't make a whole hell of a lot of sense, especially considering that technology has improved since the fucking 40s.
And there's a group of military officers wanting to return to the equipment of the 40s.
Yep. Those are the things that my brother has to deal with.
Okay, it took me a second to figure out what Assassin was saying. Does anybody want to read that last chat with like a Vietnamese accent?
Come on, do it! I'm right here! I'm right here! Come on! Do it! Oh no, it's not a Vietnamese accent, that's Austrian.
I know, it's supposed to be... I know, but I was saying like I imagine him doing like Predator or doing like, Vietnamese booby traps, so I just combined them. It sounds funnier when you do it with a Vietnamese accent than you do it with Arnold.
Yeah. you are where the
just talking mad shit.
Those MVA traps actually come from an ancient book, which was required reading when the war began.
I know what's that,
and I think that book's still published and available.
He's like, no, Arnold. I know, but again, ADD brain. This is how my mind works when I'm sober.
Well, why are you sober, man? Remedy that.
I'm an evening smoker.
Well, it's the evening.
Well, like, there's still sunlight outside for me. Like,
This isn't the rules of Hyper Dawn and
Proto Dawn.
Yeah, Proto Dawn, and I was the one that even came up with them. I don't even remember the fucking names.
Well, no. I was a very stupid young adult, right? Mm-hmm. And I managed to get away with, being stoned pretty much all the time. And now that I'm older, I'm a little gun shy about doing stuff like that.
Sure.
And so I like to make sure that I've got all of my shit taken care of for the day. I don't have to go nowhere, do nothing, because I don't want to risk anything.
Yeah.
I don't want to risk getting in any trouble. Having to leave my domicile.
I can fully get that. I understand.
Yeah. I mean, it's the same reason why, like, I don't really drink anyway, but if I did, it would definitely be like evening time, after the day's work is done.
Yeah. I get it.
Yeah, see, Assassin, that it sounds funnier, doesn't it? Yeah.
I'm much the same way, so I get it.
VC #1.
Now you're just racist. I can't believe you.
I'm just quoting what Assassin said. That's all.
Oh, all right. Well, no, you're still just racist. You're horrible, horrible racist.
I've been told that only white people can be racist, and I have a race card.
You just keep on bringing out the race card every single time you get.
Hey, what's the point of having it if you don't use it?
That's true. That's true. Overall, I think he's coming up pretty good. I say I'm liking the look of these guys. I say I'm painting my vampire here because I was bad over the weekend. I went and got a phone upgrade, and while I was at the T-Mobile store, I walk out of it and the Warhammer store in my town is in the same strip mall. So I said, no, I'll just pop in.
One does not simply just pop into a Warhammer store.
$200 later, I came away with another army. This is now my 11th army.
So, like, did you upgrade your phone to something something cool or just functional?
I got the Z Flip. The Galaxy
I have no idea what
Z
that is.
Flip. It's a folding smartphone.
Oh, kind of like the like the Razor back in the day.
Yeah.
But smartphone.
But it's a smartphone. Yes.
I don't even know what my phone is without having to like go to the settings and get the details.
Mm-hmm.
I walked in the store. It's like, give me the cheapest piece of shit you got. So like, are you sure? It's like, yes, because if I get pissed off and I want to throw something, I don't want it to cost me a lot of money.
That's a good point.
My phone cost $80.
That's a good point. Oh, so did mine, but I think an extra like $17 for the next 2 years is going to be added onto my bill to pay it off.
Didn't know Camel has a race car. What? Chat's confusing me, Quiz. I don't know what's going on here.
Oh.
Did I say something about a race car? I swear, I'm sober right now, dude. I don't know what's going on here.
They misheard race card as race car.
Gotcha. Okay. And Assassin starts quoting one of the few Cake songs I know.
Mm-hmm.
He's going the distance.
Yeah. Fucking Cake.
I mean, some of those songs still hold up, man. They're still catchy, you know.
Dude, you know, I'm gonna come right out and say it. It was bad when it was on the air, but 90s songs have grown on me. Even the popular shit that I really hated. There's only one song that I can sit there and say is still as bad as I remember it, and that's because I loathed the song back then, and my opinion of it has not improved. And that's I Don't Want to Miss a Thing by goddamn Aerosmith.
Septus Wolf says, being sober makes you dumb? Apparently so. At least in my case. It's kind of like Johnny Fever from WKRP in Cincinnati. I get better when I'm inebriated.
Well, to be fair, you're not the one that misheard race card as race car.
I do admit sometimes I have a tendency to mumble. I don't have the most... my elocution leaves something to be desired at times.
Well, you know, just get some how now brown.
Yeah, I'm not going to blame them for for misunderstanding something I said with my mumble mouth.
Just get some how now brown cow, and then you'll be fine.
But yeah, the 90s music. You know what? I've actually come to enjoy a bit of 90s country.
I wouldn't go that far, my man.
Well, you're from Chicago. I'm not blaming you, okay?
Well, no,
this is something I grew up with, listening on the radio against my will.
I would say against my will too, because remember, my dad's from Ohio, and not only that, Cincinnati, so just north of fucking Kentucky, which is the redneckiest redneck state. I swear to God. But
they still have some good songs. I mean, the one they used for Justified. You'll Never Leave Harlan Alive. Good tune. Got a story to it.
My whole thing is it has the most annoying instrument of all time. Where's Jacob Jett? I need to berate him yet again for playing this instrument.
You're not gonna say the banjo sucks, are you?
Fucking steel guitar.
Okay, fair enough.
I hate the steel guitar. It is the most annoying instrument. First only to the accordion as being the most annoying instrument mankind has ever
What's
devised.
that shit they play at the World Cup games? Because I would want to beat someone to death with one of those things.
Oh, Vuvuzela?
That's the one.
The brrrr. It's only one note. Yeah, no, I find the fucking steel guitar to be the most annoying instrument ever made by mankind. That's the reason why I like bluegrass and I don't like a whole lot of modern country.
But yeah, like when I was growing up in the '90s, like it's all country stations. There's a golden oldies. You know, like if you go to like flip it over to like AM radio instead of FM. The FM stations, we had one classic rock station, a handful of country stations, and I think one like top 40 pop music station. And then you flip it over to AM, and you've got your talk radio, you've got your golden oldies, classical station. But yeah, had to listen to country and rap nonstop in the Army. If they were both real men, I would tie them to a chair and work them. What? Okay, that's not just me. That's.
How'd you get there?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out where we went from listening to music to stabbing somebody with an ice pick. What's going on?
Rapid country are that bad.
Maybe I should just go ahead and light this joint. I don't know what the fuck is. Okay.
Hey. What's wrong with that? I'll join you.
I'm missing, like the dots. They're not connected.
Yeah. Yeah, let's see what the dots connect.
But yeah, having to grow up listening to that, not being able to control the radio station until I was driving age. Grew up listening to contemporary '90s country music, and I hated it growing up. I spent the better part of my teens and 20s getting as far the fuck away from it as I could. And now I'm here in my 30s, and like I'm already starting to go gray. Like there's some salt mixing in with the pepper, and it's like, you know what, Garth Brooks ain't that bad.
Disagree, but that's okay.
Well, I mean, that's one of the few entertainment exports we have in Oklahoma.
I thought he was Texan.
No, he's from Oklahoma. He went to OSU. Now I think Gary Busey is originally from Texas, but he also went to OSU.
Gary Busey.
And then Cyclops, James Marsden, he was also an OSU alum. See, now I'm just start listing out all the famous people from Oklahoma. We had
Bikelock is not one to be proud of.
Who?
Professor Bikelock.
Professor Bikelock.
That's who you just referred to, wasn't it?
James Marsden, Cyclops from the X-Men.
Cyclops. I thought you said Bikelock.
No, that's was his name Eric Clanton? Yeah, that dude's from California. Fuck him.
Oh,
okay. Did you seriously expect someone that deranged to come from a Hex state?
Yeah, Assassin brings up a good point. One exception to the accordion, and that's Weird Al. Yeah, that's a good point.
Fair enough. Yeah.
There's a documentary.
Oh, okay.
It's not a documentary; it's a biopic, Adam.
Oh, yeah.
If country music was a human being, a living man, that is how he would take revenge. Same with rap. Okay.
Wait, so ma'am?
Assassin was saying, he had to listen to country and rap nonstop in the Army. ... If they were both real men, he would tie them to a chair and work them over. Apparently, he was talking about the genres of music. If those were human beings, he would have assaulted them with an ice pick. That's how much he did not like country or rap.
Hip hop's not that bad.
What about
it? Depends on
I'm. Well, see, like
Hobson?
I'm.
Come on, man, Hobson. He's awesome.
I do enjoy Hobson. I like Tech 9. But there again, like I'm not up to date with the hippity hops. I'm still like mid 2000s.
Same.
I'm still bumping Outkast and Stankonia.
I like fucking God, what's his name? Wax and fucking Fort Minor.
My name is hardly important, but if you must, you may call me Mr. Joshua. Yeah, Gary should have wore his brain bucket.
Did you know that there's a movie where Gary Busey is living in someone's wall?
Oh no.
No, but I want to see it.
I know, me
Who
too.
won Gary Busey in your wall?
I did not know about that.
Hey, I'm Gary Busey. I'm living in your wall.
Yeah, I'm Gary.
Oh
Busey.
shit.
You got any peanut butter
Dude.
sandwiches?
If I found out Gary Busey was just living in my wall, I wouldn't tell anybody. I was just like, dude, like, what was it like playing Buddy Holly? You want a sandwich? I'll make you a sandwich.
That's why I contact the landlord and be like, hey, am I paying extra for this?
Can
or
we get an exterminator to get rid of the Gary Buseys in the walls?
so does this mean I don't get my
Your security deposit back?
the security deposit back? Gary Busey says you don't get your security deposit back. I was like, oh shit.
I
don't
am
know.
your security deposit.
I am your security deposit.
How do you think I can afford to live here?
Oh no.
Man, my mom loved that. Was it the Buddy Holly story with him and Lou Diamond Phillips playing the Big Bopper?
Hey, come on. Lou Diamond Phillips playing anything other than Native American? Come on now.
I mean, he's not Native American.
I know he isn't.
I mean, what? I mean, if we're doing like the Chappelle Show like racial draft, like we'll take him.
No, he's
You know.
he's brown, so he counts. So.
I mean, he looks more Indian than Iron Eyes Cody. Exactly, Assassin. Like, Gary, you don't have to live in the wall. Would you like a sandwich?
Let me find it. Hold on. I've got to find this thing so I can speak informed about it. Let's see here. Gary Busey living in the wall. Hider in the House is the name of it.
Ah.
Psychological thriller starring Matthew Patrick and Gary Busey and Mimi Rogers. A recently released psychiatric patient named Tom Sykes creates a home for himself in the attic of the Dwyer family's newly built house. He uses electronic devices to spy on them. Tom murders the Dwyer's beloved dog, Rudolph. Busey, why are you killing the dogs? Stop! When Rudolph attempts to defend his family against the titular Hider. After that, Tom starts to focus his attention on the mom, Julie, going so far as to watch her skinny dip in the pool. He interferes secretly in the house, in the relationship between Julie and her husband, Phil, planting bogus evidence of a secret love affairs. He befriends the Dwyer's son, Neil, and teaches him fighting techniques. After 2 explosive arguments, Phil leaves the house and moves into a hotel. Seeing this as an opportunity, Sykes pretends to be a visitor who lives a couple of blocks over. His attempt to insinuate himself into their lives works at first, though the creepy neighbor, Jean is the only one who distrusts him. Sykes murders 2 people who had accidentally discovered his bizarre goings-on, and finally Julie becomes sufficiently suspicious to reject his advances. Tom loses it, and he tries to kill Julie. Phil shows up and tries to defend Julie, but Tom bludgeons him, breaking his leg. Julie gets a gun and shoots Tom in the chest, apparently killing him, and the police and ambulance arrive, summoned by Jean. Tom is still alive and awakes and desperately tries to kill both Julie and himself, but is once more thwarted when the police shoot him dead, saving Julie. Phil, who is alive but barely conscious, is taken to the hospital, while Tom's body is taken to the morgue.
Now, when was this movie released?
1989.
Oh, so Mimi Rogers was looking like hot back then.
Mimi Rogers.
And this is before Gary Busey had to have his brain put together again with duct tape and Elmer's glue.
Now, like she was, like, wasn't she married to like Tom Cruise at that time? Like she was the one that pulled Tom Cruise into the Scientology, wasn't she?
I don't remember.
Yeah, like Mimi Rogers was his first wife, if I'm mistaken.
That sounds about right. I'm not gonna sit here and doubt you.
Like, if I'm not mistaken, she's the one that got him in all that woo-woo bullshit.
So she's the witch.
burner. You know, that's a misnomer. That's a misnomer. There weren't that many witches burned, especially here in America. They were all hanged. Come on.
Be fair. Hold on. So she caused Gary Busey to go into the wall. This is what happened.
Well, no, he was already in the wall.
Oh. And I just exposed the witch. Oh shit.
Oh yeah, she was married to Tom Cruise when that movie came out. They were married from 1987 to 1990.
Okay, wait a second. Now I'm getting. You said Tom Hanks at first.
No, I didn't. I said Tom
You
Cruise.
said Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks.
I
don't think anybody said Tom Hanks.
No.
Yep.
Chat, back me up here. I said Tom Cruise. Did I not?
I heard Tom Cruise.
I heard Tom Cruise.
I heard Tom Hanks.
Well, you heard wrong, sir.
I did
am
not,
sober as a judge right now. Run back the tape.
We'll run back the tape, all right. And I'm going to be proven right.
Good lord.
You're going to find yourself
that's
with
right,
Tom Cruise in the wall.
Gary Busey. Gary Busey was
alongside Gary Busey, hanging out in the wall.
See, I trust Cannibalistic Wizard, and he said you said Bob Barker.
Price wrong, bitch.
Come on, don't quote him. Of all people, don't quote him.
No.
Come on, that was the best scene of that movie. Oh, are you telling me that you did not enjoy watching Bob Barker beat the shit out of Adam Sandler? Really?
If it were by itself, yeah, sure. But that meant that you had to watch an Adam Sandler movie.
Yeah. Whoa! Come on, Happy Gilmore was pretty good.
I like those movies because I grew up with those movies. If I had never seen them and I watched them today, I probably would say they sucked. Yes. I like them for the nostalgia of it. Oh, here's one. Has Tom Cruise ever made a bad movie?
Yes.
The answer is no, and your reply is to the contrary. No good here. Before you say Far and Away, go and watch Far and... I've never seen Far and Away.
The Mummy.
Never even heard of it.
There was a box office flop for a goddamn fucking reason. It was a terrible goddamn movie.
You're referring to the more recent one, right?
The one with Tom Hanks, yes. Tom Hanks. Tom Cruise. No, see, that's the thing. I'm just following your lead there, Camel.
Bullshit.
Oh, gee.
I call bullshit, sir. So why do you like Tom Hanks so much, Quiz?
I don't like him either. I like him about as much as I like Adam Sandler. I think his best movie was probably Big.
I'm trying to think of like what movies I've seen of Tom Cruise. I've never sat down and watched all of his movies. I've only seen, I've probably seen most of them.
I like Tom Cruise in Tropic Thunder.
I hate Adam Sandler too, but I'm not going to say that all of his movies are utter shite. The reason why is because everyone says Click. Click is definitely a departure from his normal sort of shtick. But
are you going to say Reign Over Me?
Reign Over Me, yes. I love that movie.
Wait, Click? You're not going to say the one where it was him and a sister?
Oh, Jack and Jill? I saw part of the movie. It's like, I'm not drunk enough for this. Turn this off. Like how can you make Al Pacino stoop so low? Like, what dirt do you have on The Godfather, sir?
Wait,
Adam Sandler knows where there's some like dead prostitutes buried.
Hold on. They got Al Pacino in Jack and Jill?
Yes.
Oh.
And he was like hitting on female Adam Sandler, if I'm mistaken.
No.
I hate to be this cruel, but Al Pacino lost all credibility in the early 90s.
No, he's still like really going into the...
Whoa!
Godfather 3, he should have never touched that shit.
Who
The Devil's Advocate.
Hoo-ah!
1996. Okay.
Let me tell ya.
Assassin says Jack and Jill was a money laundering scheme.
Well, that's what Red Letter Media says, is that Adam Sandler just does these movies to bankroll his vacation.
Hold on, that's the same thing that they said about Nick Cage. Nick
Cage does all those movies to pay his tax bill.
Oh, okay. So
he's trying to keep from getting Wesley Snipes.
He was trying to pay off a debt.
He's trying to pay off like buying dinosaur bones and shit.
But he was.
Cage is so weird.
Hey, get out of here, because Nick Cage did a National Treasure. That was a National Treasure.
National Treasure was good. I like National Treasure, but I'm gonna come
Diane
out
Kruger
and
was
say,
cute to look at. I'll give you that much.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna come right out and say it. Nick Cage is not a bad actor. He just gets some stinky ass roles sometimes.
No, he's not a bad actor, but he's so desperate for money to keep from going to federal pound me in the ass prison that he'll take whatever's offered to him.
True.
He did put the bunny down.
Oh no, stop. That right there, that movie, that is a national treasure.
Which one?
Con Air is
Con Air.
modern American cinema, sir.
Con Air
about
was a good movie.
30 minutes tops.
I will agree with Jack Cochran that he is great at playing white trash.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like Raising Arizona.
Raising Arizona, hell yeah.
Damn it, hi, I'm talking about wife swapping.
Fucking Mandy. Have you seen Mandy?
No.
Oh, you need to. It's great. He plays a lumberjack, and it's like this rape revenge movie where like this. It's weird. It's like a drug haze.
So Nicolas Cage is in like a movie where it's like I Spit on Your Grave or something?
Well, he's not the one. Like the titular Mandy is his wife, and she dies. And he goes on revenge for her, and it's because this leader of a cult, a literal cult, wanted to fuck his wife, and he goes and kills like every person in this cult. And there's like weird Satanism references and shit. Like but it's awesome.
Well, see, now you kind of killed it for me, because that sounds like a movie he did in 2011 called Drive Angry.
Hold on.
But see, okay.
At least there's no bees, right?
There's no bees.
Well, no, like with Drive Angry, because I was talking to Saint Fugi the other day. He was asking about the Amber Heard trial, which I've not kept any track of.
Nor
I don't care.
Nor
but I remember back in the day, I used to have a thing for Amber Heard. She used to be smoking hot, man. And
she was even
one
in
of the movies,
Aquaman. She was hot in Aquaman.
I haven't seen Aquaman. I'm not nearly as invested in the DC universe movies as I was the Marvel ones. Aquaman just doesn't really appeal to me. I don't feel like sitting down and watching 2 hours of Jason Momoa. But
it's not a bad movie.
Oh, okay. I mean, if it's on, I might check it out, but I'm not gonna go seeking it out. But yeah, that she was in that movie with Nicolas Cage, and that sounds almost like the plot of Mandy, except for he's a dead man who has escaped hell to go rescue his granddaughter from a satanic cult being led by Billy Burke. and Amber Heard tags along with him. And it's actually got a decent enough cast in it. Like I said, you got Billy Burke as like the main antagonist. You got Nicolas Cage as the leading male. You've got William Finchner. It's his Finchner, right?
I believe so.
He is playing the accountant. He's the guy, from hell who has come to collect Nicolas Cage's soul and take him back.
Well, you know what that's a reference to. Even back in the Middle Ages, people would call the Grim Reaper the accountant.
Yeah. And I like the way he plays that. I like the way he plays that role too.
Mm-hmm.
He's very very smooth about it. It's even got David Morse in it.
Okay.
Yeah. Because like the first half of the movie, you're just thinking this dude is just a straight up badass, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then if you haven't seen it, I don't want to give too much away about it. I've given you the main plot synopsis.
Okay.
But that movie made me want to cry because they had so many cool cars that
blew up.
I shed a single tear every time I see a 1970 Chevelle get demolished. That is a beautiful car, and
get you right in the feels.
You shouldn't do that, man. No. Yeah, that's one of my dream cars. It's a 1970 Chevelle or a 67 Impala.
69 Charger.
Give me one of the. It's a good car too. Don't get me wrong. But Kristen Stewart is a better actress than Amber Turd. I'd say they're both pretty mediocre.
I'll say this about Kristen Stewart. The only expression that she can emote is mild disinterest, which is the reason.
Oh my god! Hold on, the two of them plus Brie Larson, the same fucking person.
It was a fiberglass mock-up. Okay, but still, it's a beautiful fiberglass mock-up.
Easy filiosis or whatever the fuck they say. I'm getting it from just watching their performance.
But yeah, like with Amber Heard, like there was a few years there where she had like that peak hotness going on, and The Informers. Have you ever seen that movie?
No.
Informer.
It's a Bret Easton Ellis novel actually that they made into a movie. They've made a bunch of his books into movies.
Yep, American Psycho.
Well, that's most well known one, yeah.
Yep.
And then everyone goes to Less Than Zero or
like
Laws of Attraction.
I know Bret Easton Ellis himself doesn't like Less Than Zero, but I don't care. I like that movie. I thought it was a good movie.
The only problem I have with it is that they kill off Julian.
Yeah, and he didn't die in the book either.
Right? Yeah. That's if I can understand taking some creative departures from the source material. If you're going from a book to a movie,
sure.
Okay, that's understandable. But something that big, really?
I excuse it because of the amazing performances from both. God, I'm blanking on his name now. Shit.
Robert Downey Jr.
Well, Robert Downey Jr. is the other one.
Or James Spader.
James Spader. The amazing performances from both Robert Downey Jr. and James Spader.
And then Jamie was it last name Gertz? Was the chick?
I think so, yeah.
I mean, she had a TV show with Robert Baratheon. Like they were a couple of they were a married couple with their kids, and it was a sitcom in suburbia.
Mm-hmm.
And she was still looking good, and this was like what 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she's still holding up pretty nice. Polly has an unhealthy obsession with American Psycho. See, I love the movie. I could not for the life of me get through reading even the first couple chapters of the book.
Well, I find that Easton Ellis has very purple prose in the same way as Chuck Palahniuk. And if you can get through Fight Club, you can read fucking Bret Easton Ellis.
Well, no, the problem I had with American Psycho is with the book, he's sitting there. It's very dense with the descriptions, and I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
Problem is, I don't know shit about 80s male fashion, so I'm just sitting like, what the fuck's this supposed to be?
Well, I think most people don't. It's from the perspective of a gay man, right? Bret Easton Ellis is gay, so you're sitting there going like,
is he? I had no idea. I know Chuck Palahniuk is.
Oh, is he? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I
don't know about Bret Easton Ellis. I don't recall any interviews where his sexuality was discussed. I mean, I really don't care. The only problem.
I'm just saying that that sort of thing is metrosexuality, at least in some sort of fashion, is usually associated with gay men and not associated with a lot of straight men. And a lot of straight men know nothing about metrosexuality.
Well, I mean, in this instance, whether he is or isn't, it works because you're talking about a a narcissistic psychopath who's
Pretty
obsessed
much,
with
yeah.
his appearance and the appearance of others. So I mean, I can understand what he was going for. I just have no clue what the fuck you're talking about until we get to like the re parts, you know. Changing the end of Fight Club remakes the theme into terrorism in the name of anarchy is good. Was there a departure from the book and the movie? I've read some of his other books. I've never actually got around to reading Fight Club.
The Fight Club, in terms of like what Palahniuk wrote, was much more of a trying to find your own identity in a world where men have been relegated to an afterthought.
Chuck Palahniuk writes like he gets off to the sound of his own voice, i.e. know-it-all who really don't know nothing. I enjoyed the story of a...
I'm fine with people who have purple prose like that if they tell a good story. And I think Palahniuk writes good stories.
What was the name of that? It was like an anthology book he did, I think.
Stranger Than Fiction?
Maybe is it the one where like they had all the people writing their stories in like a locked like theater or something like that?
I believe so, yeah.
Because one of the stories from that was in an issue of Playboy, the story Guts, and he would read that story when he was going on book tours and stuff, and people would, at the beginning of the story is like, hold your breath. And people would sit there and actually try and hold their breath, and they would pass out by the time you got to the end of the story. And the whole story was just about jerking off.
Well, let's see here. Stranger Than Fiction True Story is published in the UK and Australia as non-fiction. It is a non-fiction book by Chuck Palahniuk, published in 2004. It's a collection of essays, stories, and interviews written for various magazines and newspapers. Some of the pieces had also been previously published on the internet. The book is divided into 3 sections: People Together, articles about people who find unique ways of achieving togetherness, portraits, interviews, and short essays mostly about famous people, and personal autobiographical pieces.
Okay, it was not Stranger Than Fiction.
Okay.
Let's see, he's 2003 book tour to promote his novel Diary. It appears in the book Haunted. So he was on a book tour for Diary, and he started, reading the gut story from Haunted to the audiences. Yeah. He would tell the listeners to inhale deeply, and that this story should last about as long as you could hold your breath. It was reported that 40 people had fainted listening to the readings while holding their breath.
Well, then that's just on you, man. You're being dumb at that point.
Well, I mean, that story, the narrator of the story, because it's a sensational tale of accidents involving masturbation. The narrator is telling the story about him and a couple of his friends who've had mishaps, and his involved like he would jerk off at the bottom of his swimming pool. So he would be holding his breath while he was stroking it.
Well, it's better than, say, tying a belt around your neck and hanging yourself in your closet, and only for the maid to find you.
As I recall from reading the story,
peace, David Carradine.
David Carradine, yeah. As I recall from the story, like he's sitting on the filter at the bottom of the pool.
Oh, so he's getting prostate,
getting his ass sucked while
He
he's getting his ass sucked on while he's jerking off, and it eventually like prolapses, and he starts like having his guts sucked into the filtration tank.
Mm-hmm.
Hence the title Guts.
I'm not sure if I believe that actually happened, but
it's fiction, dude.
Yeah.
It was a short story, and the whole point of that short story was that it was a part of this other book, Haunted, where the It's all short stories that supposed to be from characters in the book writing them.
Yeah.
Oh, they don't blow up half the city in the book. Okay.
Yeah. The book is good.
Well,
I like the book.
they don't blow up half the city in the Chinese version either. So, who knew the Chinese were more faithful in their adaptations? The notion of the unnamed narrator serves no purpose unless the name is significant, i.e. the art student rejected and belittled, whose name is Funny Little Mustache Man.
Alright, we've been going for a good, 2 hours? Almost 2 hours? Yeah, almost 2 hours.
Almost.
So, we've been your Minions of the Zoo. Thank y'all for coming out. Be sure to watch tomorrow where Skep is the host. And, unfortunately, you probably won't see me again for a little bit until I go over to third shift. And then I'll be doing it before I head off to work. But, yeah, it was good to see everyone again, and I hope everyone takes care in my absence. And Camel is blowing my eardrums out.
What did I do? What'd I do?
Something on your microphone was really loud.
Yeah.
My apologies.
But anyway, we've been your Minions of the Zoo. Thank y'all for coming out, and take care. The zoo is closed.
Good night, y'all.
Bye, everybody.